Hey everyone, just want to come on here for a minute, talk a little bit about YouTube in general, but I'll also be addressing a few people specifically. The few people I wanted to address were Nunya, Johnson, Deets, Sweet Deets, Deetsy, the HOA, and yes, I know you guys aren't really the HOA. I heard them saying the other day that the HOA is dead. We're the opinion community now. For the love of God, no one ever thought you guys were a real HOA. I digress. I'm getting a little off the subject here. I wanted to first talk about YouTube in general and some of the things I've observed in the last month or so, sharing my unsolicited and unpopular opinions per usual. Then I'll go on to address the HOA. Might piss some people off with this video, you never know. And I don't mean to be cliche with saying something like that, like those creators that'll be like, I might piss some people off with this video, but I don't even care. Such a rebel. I mean, don't get too excited though, because I might be talking about your favorite creator, so I'm keeping you on your mother flipping toes, on the edge of your seat, boy. Also wanted to mention real quick that I'm trying something new today. I got these little microphones, like the kind you can like pin to your shirt with the little fuzzy, like furry tops. They're so cute. Anyway, part of this video I'll probably be making on my porch, so you'll have to let me know if you can hear the crows in the background or any of the other background noise that I usually pick up when I'm out there. Anyhow, on with the video. So I've been on YouTube for quite a while now. And trust and believe that is no flex. It's a little embarrassing, to be totally honest. I've always said that YouTube was like the Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. I have also said that YouTube time is like dog years. 1 month feels like a year, a week feels like a month. We love fast, we hate fast, everything goes by really fast. Like if you miss a couple days or a week, you feel like you've missed a huge chunk of time. I've also said that we kind of go by rules of Fight Club here, like first rule about YouTube, don't talk about YouTube. Second rule about YouTube, don't talk about YouTube, because most of the people I've encountered here don't share what goes on in this community with people in their real life, because it's, for one thing, confusing and a little embarrassing. YouTube can also be very repetitive, like a broken record, like Groundhog's Day. The same thing over and over again, the same things being covered by every creator. And I say all of those things to say this. I've been seeing a lot lately of how much this place has changed and how the OGDC was never like this, we never had it this way, and how different it is now. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, is it really that different though? It really had me thinking though, like, the OGDC in comparison to the true crime and trauma community, like what we were doing over there in the OGDC was child's play in comparison. There was a lot of real lifing going on in the trauma community, pretty much. But then I was thinking about, like, how it was when I first got here. Everybody was focused on a creator named Truthfully Trisha. She was on Dr. Phil. People did all the things with her. People called CPS on her. People were in court with her. She got arrested on a live stream, all the things. And everybody and their mama was covering it. Even Dr. Phil. Shit, another creator even married her husband. And Trisha, like BJ, would do dumb things, do vile things, do things that piss people off, basically. And people would react, bring awareness, or just have live streams clowning and gossiping about what she was doing that day, and end up going too far. Like, to this day, you will hear people rationalize why they called CPS on Trisha, or why it was okay for somebody to drive where she was at on vacation in front of her hotel and record her. And people went on to cover Trisha for quite a while after that, but then eventually the majority of the community got bored and moved on to the next person, because there's always somebody that's going to be the main focus. The only thing that's really changed is the number of subscribers in the live chats, where it used to be a couple hundred to 500, 2 to 500. Now it's like, 1,200, 1,500, 1,800, 2,000 sometimes. Another thing about YouTube is, friend or foe, we all have this thing in common. You might hear about people bragging about their real life and their awesome job and how, oh, I have a life outside of YouTube. Yeah, you do, sure, but you definitely make it a priority to come here and catch up on all the gossip and BS. Another thing we all have in common is that all of us can be kind of hypocritical at times. Some more than others, but that's neither here nor there. Well, actually it is, because I want to talk about it. So never mind, I take back what I said. That brings me to the next subject I wanted to talk about. Nunya, the good Nunya, Nunya no funya, and Joneson and Dietz. Dietz on the street. Sweet Dietz. Dietzy. Good lord, if semantics were an Olympic sport, Nunya would be a gold medalist. The gymnastics of it all. Honestly, Nunya would take the gold, Dietz would take the silver, and Joneson would take the bronze. For about 6 weeks now, I've been wanting to make a video on them. I actually made 2 other videos besides this one and scrapped them because drama has a shelf life, and I was going to keep working on the video, but then, like I said, the drama expires and things change. So some of the stuff I might bring up today talking about them might seem a little old, and that's why. Anyhow, let me play you a clip.
My head, when I hear school shootings, and I had shared this with Dees this morning, in my head, when I hear school shooting, I think a gunman walked into a school and shot up at the school, whether it be shooting kids, teachers, principals. Like, they walked into the school building and they shot. That's what I've always thought counted as a school shooting until I started doing my research. So, of course, yesterday, the 3 people that were shot at Evergreen High School, okay, that would qualify. Like, in my head, is like,
absolutely,
that's exactly what I would be thinking of if you said that. Charlie Kirk is actually now considered a school shooting because it happened at a school campus.
Yep.
So that is now considered one of the 47 currently is that. The Catholic Church shooting, the Annunciation Catholic Church shooting, that is considered one. Again, in my head, I would have definitely have thought that. There was one where 2 people were injured. They were shot in a drive-by shooting at the Kentucky State University campus.
Yeah.
So bullets shot out in the neighborhood near the school, and the bullets hit somebody on campus. So that is now a school shooting. There was one, a student at Collin College was shot in a parking lot outside student housing. Another student was arrested for that shooting. And when I looked into that, they used to be friends and it had a falling out. But because it was at the housing for that school, it's a school shooting. Yeah. There was,
and don't mistake us, one school shooting of any kind is too many.
Yeah, I am not, for me, I'm not excusing it at all. I'm just trying to show that, like, when you hear 47 school shootings, I feel like it's putting this, like...
fear-mongering? You're going to hear that word a lot in this video.
Fear-mongering, like, oh my God, the schools are getting shot up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that's what you think. That's what my mind goes to. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. That's what my mind goes to is 47. Damn, we're only 9 months into the year. And it's like 47 and 9 is what? Like 6 to 7. 7 is 49. So we're almost at 7 per month. Mm-hmm. Maybe. No, we're not. That's 63. Sorry.
I don't know. I can't do math.
Anyways, don't worry about the math, okay? Just don't worry about that part. Anyways,
it's too many.
You don't worry about the math or the numbers when you're trying to explain statistics, even though that's what you're quite literally trying to do, allegedly. And I don't know, I find it a problem that a gun's on campus at all, whether it be the parking lot, whether it be on the front yard or in the quad or, whatever, whether, the janitor's at risk or the gym teacher or the students. It's a problem either way, but I guess not all school shootings are created equal, according to these 2.
And Tracy's right. There's many ways to track these numbers and put them into context. So there have been 9 school shootings in 2025 as of September 11th at the K through 12 school property that resulted in injury or death. Those 9 incidents include 4 people killed, 35 injuries, and all but 1 were students or other non-school employee individuals. It's too many. But the context is important.
Yeah, and that's why to me I do think, like, first and foremost, you should absolutely do your own research. 1,000% do your own research. But I think it's also dangerous when we're out here screaming 47 school shootings, which immediately is going to activate something within people because they're going to be outraged. These are our babies in these schools. Can you imagine? That's what it's going to end up being. That's the result that people get. Yes, 1 is too many. I don't disagree with that. 1 is absolutely too many. But I think it is important to be factual when we're speaking on those things.
Especially when we're going to be in the midst of calling out another person for not being factual. Mm-hmm. That's where I take issue, but...
Yeah. All
right. Dangerous? Did you just really say it's dangerous to talk about school shootings and not be specific whether it happened across the street from the school or in the parking lot or in the building? Are you kidding me right now? Oh my God. And context matters, right? Because when you're talking about shootings and gun control, don't bother with reporting those shootings that happened in the parking lot by the school or in the alley behind the school, because those don't matter. Only the ones in the building matter. And I'm not really sure what's not factual. I guess since school shootings are subjective at this point. I guess the jury's still out on that one. Who knows? This was a 2-part stream, and there was a certain point where I was like, dang, did Nunya get red pilled when we all weren't looking? Like, what happened? Because for somebody that has a jump scare reaction to firearms like Nunya claims she does, she claims that one time that she went to a family party at a shooting range and ended up sobbing in the corner, I felt like her take was a little confusing. So I was thinking, like, her closest friends, they're honest about their politics and they all voted for Trump, so maybe she got red pilled. Being that Nunya is also from liberal California like myself, I was clutching my pearls.
I think we can all come together respectfully, no matter what your beliefs, experience, anything is. And I think that everybody would be able to say, if I had it my way, there would never be a school shooting again.
Oh, I think we would all be in agreement on that.
I think no matter what you believe in, you would agree with that, right? I think everybody would agree that there is some reform needed on gun laws. Would you not agree with that, Deets?
No.
Okay, all right, okay, maybe not. Just my delusion.
I'm a less government type of person, and okay. I think the issue is people don't realize how many laws we actually already have, gun laws we actually already have in place, and what is actually being done currently. And I think if they fully understood that, they would realize it's not that man that shot Charlie Kirk went in there with one task in mind. Do you think 2 or 3 more laws on the books were going to stop him from doing that? And a lot of times we don't know. I did just read a Twitter post someone sent me that they got a new suspect in custody, but a lot of times we find out that the guns used in these crimes were already obtained illegally. So how is 1 or 2 more laws going to help change what that person set out to do? I think that, where there's a will, there's a way, even when it comes to evil deeds. And then that person got it in his mind and his heart that he was going to kill that man that day. Nothing was going to stop him. Yeah. Even if we had an abolishment of guns in this country, once that person had it in their mind that they were going to complete that task, he was going to complete that task.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about it earlier, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this or don't even believe in it or agree with it, and I'm completely okay with that. For me, it's more of a heart condition than it is a gun law situation. Yes. I personally think that absolutely. I think evil will absolutely go run rampant where it's allowed to, and giving it a little less access. Sure. Okay, fine. I would actually be interested in maybe doing research to know, out of all the gun violence that has been experienced, what are the statistics on if a gun was registered or unregistered? Because gun laws won't change for unregistered guns. Like, if you get caught with the unregistered gun, sure, yeah, you're against the law, you're in trouble, okay, fine. But that doesn't change. Like, it still gives people access to the guns that are bought at the streets. Chasing said New York has one of the strictest gun control systems. In 2023, they had 943 gun deaths. Mississippi has very lenient gun control and had 844 for the same year. I would be curious, population-wise, what they compare to, like how many per person it is chasing if that's possible. Because, of course, where you have more people, you have more chance at that, being a situation. So, all right.
Phew, that was a close one. I guess there's no sign of Nunya being red-pilled, being that she's calling out Chasing for comparing apples to oranges in the chat. Even though her judgment is clearly clouded by hate, she's at least trying to keep the chat, agenda-free. All red-pill jokes aside, I do, for the most part, agree with them, though, that it has more to do with the person. It's a heart condition, as they're saying, than a gun control issue. Now, I'm not so familiar on state-to-state gun control. I could use some education on that. But what I do know is what Deet said was true. That guy had a mission, and he was going to play it out no matter what.
So, all right. Makes me sick. But I'm going to play a video, and it's probably going to bother some of you. I want it to. I want it to bother you. I want you to understand, again, this isn't a conservative versus Democrat thing. This is so beyond that. This radical bullshit, this extremist bullshit, this ignoring the problems that are right in front of our face while saying, we protect our children. We protect children. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Excuse me. I got a little bit confused. She seems a little bit, I don't know. I guess she thought that when people were saying thoughts and prayers for the victims of the school shooting, right, that they were going to solve gun violence with their thoughts and prayers, I guess.
I don't think anyone feels that. I think we're all very cognitive to the fact that thoughts and prayers are not going to stop gun violence.
Right. And that's one thing I did want to, I did want to point out is I don't think any of us have ever, I've sent out thoughts and prayers to different people during different types of situations, not just, but I'm sending it out in an effort to bring comfort during a time that is chaotic and devastating and traumatic for them.
I'm not really sure why the thoughts and prayers comments trigger people. I think that she's making a point to say that, people just say thoughts and prayers and kind of turn a blind eye and just do the easy thing and look the other way. I'm not sure if she's trying to say that people are actually thinking that thoughts and prayers are going to take care of the problem at hand, but making a blanket statement like saying nobody thinks that way is kind of not fair either, because I've met some God-fearing people that quite literally think that God's going to take care of everything and that everything should be left in God's hands.
Fucking bullshit that Betty is calling for further bloodshed because her idol got shot. Yeah, it's a fucking tragedy. It's absolutely a tragedy. We have had 47 shootings on campuses this year. That also was debunked in the first live as well. They are 47 shootings on school campuses, but they are not school shootings specifically.
We have had 47 shootings on campuses this year. A tragedy. We have had 47 shootings on campuses this year.
But I don't disagree with her. Like, I do think it is so unproductive to meet violence with violence. Betty is...
Yep, 47 shootings on school campuses. That's exactly what she said. And yet you say you don't disagree with her. Okay. Tell me your judgment is clouded by your anger without telling me your judgment is clouded by your anger.
Use your belief systems. Again, that's your relationship with whoever you believe in. It is your choice to believe in whatever you choose to believe in. But I choose to believe that the God my Christian friends believe in was a humanitarian. He also wasn't a white guy. There's that. But those are probably too deep for most of you, right? I'm not talking to you.
Did you just say he wasn't a white guy and that's too deep for us?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't a white guy, but that's too deep for some of you.
Why is that too deep?
Oh my
Well, because if we talk about how Jesus had brown skin, you guys aren't ready for that.
Yes, because we're not aware of the fact that he was,
He was commercialized.
from
I mean, or what are we,
we don't
fucking
know.
idiots?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, again, if it doesn't fit and you don't think that Jesus is a white man, then if it doesn't fit, then don't take it, okay? Leave it right there for somebody else to come and pick up.
Okay. All right.
Because it wasn't meant for you.
Like, she is so aptly named. Nonsense. You are just pure and utter nonsense.
Oh, wait a minute. What was it that you weren't aware of, Deeds? What was it? Never mind. You know what? I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to take Nunya's advice on that one. And you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. It's not meant for me. I'm going to leave that laying there for the next person. If it doesn't fit, leave it. That sounds like something my mom would say to me when we're shopping at the Goodwill. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit. Sorry, I had to. I'm Gen X. That's it for the clips I have for that stream. The rest of part 2 went on to talk about some other, controversial topics that people like to argue about, like, vaccines and, Florida and their tax-free weekend holiday thing they're doing, where Nonsense and her husband were kind of like a little half wrong about those two things that they were talking about. But of course, like, Nunya and Deetsy, they reported as dangerous misinformation, which I get it. Misinformation in true crime cases is really important. However, if you're taking influence from any of the creators in this community regarding vaccines and gun control, then you got more problems than I can even address in this video. There's one more clip that I clipped from the stream she did, I believe, yesterday or the day before yesterday. And yes, this video has taken me a week to make. I get it. I gotta figure out a quicker way to do these videos. Been really busy in my awesome real life, though, so it's been so hard.
Seek out any type of help that she may need. So, and she has attachment issues to a channel called ITOW. She was gaslit for a year, and by some, and made to be seemed very crazy during that time. And so here we are. So yeah, I'll give her that.
Well, that was mighty generous of you to give her that, Nunya. She was gaslit and made to be crazy by some? Some? Who is some? Would that be you, Nunya? You, Deetsy and Jonesy? Huh? Okay, let me give you, backstory to the clip. Okay, so JP's in Nunya's chat. Nunya's having a chat about YouTube and, groupthink and whatever, stuff like that. Anyhow, and JP in the chat was talking about how she doesn't like blocking and said, she didn't even block even Ellie, who she recently had a fallout with. Then Ellie becomes the topic for just a couple minutes. And then JP makes a comment saying she has attachment issues to a channel called ITOW. So then part of what Nunya said was reading JP's comment and then followed by, she was gaslit and made to look like she was crazy. Which is 100% true. She was really gaslit, along with a lot of us, not just her, and made out to be crazy. For those of you that don't know, Nunya had a clip channel called ITOW where she clipped Queen Bee in her own words and, was all exposing her, for being this horrible person and all that. She actively uploaded it on it for, a couple times a week for about a year. She had been confronted multiple times, we know it's you, and, with her whole chest, she lied to the whole community, like, no, you guys are all crazy. Yep. Mm-hmm. But then her good buddy Sinner busted her out, and she kind of had to admit that she created the channel. I'm assuming because he could probably expose her with receipts, because from my understanding is that they passed around the login and that she wasn't the only one that uploaded to the channel, but she was the channel creator. I just went back and listened to the live stream she did when we busted her out for the creation of the channel. Like, hey, we saw you invade this account invade us chat on the same day that this account was created, and she made this whole live stream like, yeah, you guys are all crazy idiots. Like, it was really embarrassing, girl. I mean, like, I get it. Clip channels, I understand it. But when you have a channel already and you supposedly say everything with your chest and you mean it and you give no F's and, I don't know about all that. She tries to package and present it like if we knew it was her, it would fall on deaf ears, that she was just a disgruntled Hive member, when really everybody pretty much knew it was her, and that she took great enjoyment in gaslighting people over it. That's my opinion, of course, but that's kind of what my common sense tells me. Anyhow, enough about ITOW. I wanted to go on to talk about JP for a minute before I end this video. I've seen talk in the last couple months about how JP has changed, and I've seen it from both sides. From people that used to be friends with her and people that are now friends with her or cool with her or whatever you want to call it. People in the chats she now frequents. And I've seen her herself address it, basically saying, my opinions about people have changed and things to that effect. Which to me is an honest response to people saying that she's changed. And I understand where people are coming from that she used to hang out with, because when you're hanging out with somebody and they don't want to hang out with you anymore, you feel like they've changed, right? Well, technically, her opinion about said people have changed. Technically, there was a change. But what's funny to me is the chats that she now goes in and the people she's now cool with used to think she was the biggest bully and the most horrible meanie head Fred. She's so vile and so terrible. Thank God she has now seen the light. The thing about that is that she has been consistent, and she is still herself, still trolling and just being a meanie head to the right people, the people that you guys don't like. So, yeah. Kind of par for the course for YouTube, though. You know what I mean? But the complete and utter cringe watching people like Sinner, for example, or maybe some other people that she very openly doesn't like, starting to like kiss her ass and trying to be nice to her, hoping that she might come over there and, talk shit about the Hive. And make no mistake, I'm cool with JP. I have no problems with her, and it doesn't say anything about her. It says something more about the people that are in the chat she's going into. I don't know, it's just funny to me. And as far as JP goes, regarding Nunya and Jonesy and Deetsy, I'm sure you guys will be safe. I'm sure that she'll continue to be nice to you, and you'll be able to maintain your best friend badges as long as y'all keep it cool and come correct. She'll be there with your towels and your waters after a hard day's work at the YouTube Olympic Games. Anyhow, that's all I have to say about that. I think this video has gone on way too long, and I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys liked the video. Love y'all.